Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have an interesting update from Marvel Comics on Captain Marvel. Well, as many of you know, Captain Marvel, at least the Carol Danvers version, has become somewhat of a household name because of the MCU. The character and mantle have been a big part of Marvel Comics for decades, and nearly 30 years ago, there was quite a different version of the character. Now, back in those days, there was a version of the character called Genis-Vell, originally called Legacy, and he actually made his first appearance in Silver Surfer Annual number 6 back in 1988. Now, this version of the character was burdened with what was considered an impossible task, filling in for his late father, who was that original Captain Marvel many people know from the comics, who actually died from cancer. So here's the big news. Marvel is going to bring back this version of the character. In the comics, he actually passed away. Actually, it wasn't just him. This version of the character's human form was the one and only Rick Jones. You know, the Rick Jones associated with many Marvel characters, most notably the Hulk. So for many fans, either one of these characters returning seemed pretty slim and is going to be a big deal. Now, starting next month, Marvel will debut Genis-Vell Captain Marvel, which will explore a resuscitated run featuring both characters as they rediscover their bond in what's going to be a 5-part limited series. The series will be helmed by writer Peter David, and all the art will be brought to us from the talented Juanan Ramirez, so the two teaming up should be pretty exciting for comic fans. Now, the series promises to bring in old friends and new enemies and make for a very interesting life for both Genis and Rick. Now, based on the information that we have in place, this will be a tale set in the modern times and will actually deal directly with the death of these characters. As many people know, in the comic book world, nobody seems to stay dead, and that's going to be a major underpinning to the story. This also means that not only will Rick Jones return, which is a pretty big deal to the Marvel Universe, but we will indeed have another Captain Marvel. I don't think that is going to step on the toes of the Carol Danvers version of the character, but Genis-Vell is a really cool version, visually very unique, and should be an absolute joy to see back alive in the comics. I remember when this character was a staple of the Marvel Universe, and I really do look forward to seeing him return. I also really wonder about the return of Rick Jones. Like I said, Rick Jones was a huge part of multiple Marvel story arcs, and I would love to see some of his associations, particularly with other Marvel heroes, get reestablished and maybe see Rick return to the overall Marvel Universe. There were quite a few rumors that Rick Jones could be part of MCU stuff going forward, so to bring him back in the comics would really be one of the first steps Marvel would do. And remember, now everything Marvel reports up to Kevin Feige, and a lot of this content is very coordinated for future plans. And I actually feel like looking to some of the changes Marvel Comics makes now might give us an indicator of things they have on the table for several years down the road. Now, like all Marvel Comics news, we're going to probably follow this one pretty closely. I actually really hope this series does well. Like I said, the character is cool, and bringing such an important character to Marvel Comics as Rick Jones back to life will definitely have broad-reaching impacts. So if you want to keep up with this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But until we get more news, what do you guys think? How do you feel about Genis-Vell returning as Captain Marvel in the Marvel Universe? And which of Rick Jones' former associates do you think will be most surprised to see him? Quite honestly, I look forward to that reunion with Bruce Banner. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.